Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 7. Okay, we get all these windows all set up here and we get going. So, I believe we ended on this one, outside the child center. Nope. Should be interesting. Because, again, we've came with an even larger crowd, but the policeman warned us that we might be sending a bad message doing this. This could... It's hard to say whether this is gonna... I feel like this could go both ways. The game could be just making us second guess ourselves, or the game could just be like, ha, I told you it was gonna go bad if you kept pushing it. It's such a, what else can we do kind of thing, you know? How you doing today, though, Dan? Hopefully Dan's not mistaking more people for using critique as defense. Ha! Oh, dear. We march on. Off all week. Nice. Yeah, you're supposed to be the leader, man. You gotta be strong. But I told you the counter defense to that. You see, the problem is, look. If you're going down on the route that buying a product is quote-unquote defending, then all of humanity is doomed, because you can say that about everything. Walmart, phone companies, Disney. That's not a defense. See, here's the problem, two problems with it. It's not a defense, because that's not. Defense means I am defending an action. Explain to me by definition how buying something from them is a defense. See, the terminology, you're using the wrong terminology. Your best argument you can make is that I'm supporting them by buying product, or that I am condemning what they did because I'm not refusing to buy their product. And like I said, I do not agree with what they did. Now, it's not to the level that I am going to stop buying from them, because the sad truth is, a lot of good games still get released through them and that. And as much as I do feel sorry for their manager for getting fired and that, for just an opinion, the sad thing is that happens a lot. And, I mean, like I said, when you go to that level, you can make the same argument with a lot of other businesses. Do you still eat KFCs? KFC's fired someone unfairly for defending a customer from a robbery, and they got fired for doing it. I'm saying, everyone has the line of when they will completely separate themselves from a business association with a business. And everyone has that right to have that line of when they can draw it. Oh, like I said, I agree that was wrong for her to be fired for that. I do agree. But also, did you know so here's something I wanted to throw at you. Did you know she said not to be mad at Josh and Doug? and that they both defended her. Did you know that? Did you know that? And I was pretty harsh towards Josh in my newest video. So according to your logic, I should not be doing that because she said Josh was defending her. So that means he should be on your side. See, it's not all black and white, you know. See, that's more... And here's the bigger picture. So, now, this is again, if we believe her, which I have no reason not to, but if you want to be a conspiracy nut and say, like, oh, she was probably being forced to do that for law reason, which isn't necessarily impossible, but nothing ever led to really think that. But let's go with the mindset that she is being honest, that Josh and Doug both defended her at the time. That would mean the Embracer Group, which are the current owners of Limited One Games, because they sold to them, would have been responsible. Now, if we go by Dan's logic and say that you giving Limited One Games money, hence giving Embracer money, that means everything under Embracer is defending what happened. So, Dan, do you like Lord of the Rings? Do you like Lord of the Rings, Dan? Don't worry, Kay. I'm here. We're all brothers. We're all fans. But yeah, do you like Lord of the Rings, Dan? Eh? Dan's like all like probably like he's trying to warm his way out of the. He's being backed in the corner. He's like And it's, you need to keep in mind, Embracer owns a lot of things. Here, let's try. Let's see what kind of things, just in case, like, Dan weasels his way out of the Lord of the Rings. Depends on what you mean. The book? Everything! Embracer owns Lord of the Rings. Embracer owns Lord of the Rings. They bought Lord of the Rings and Limited One Games, like, at the same time. So let's see. What Embracer Groups owns? They own Dark Horse Comics. They own all of Lord of the Rings. They own Gearbox Software, which they actually did mention like a month or two ago. They will maybe looking into selling them. THQ Nordic is owned by the Embracer Group. Let's see. Embracer owns $3 million worth of Square Enix of Europe. Oh wait, never mind. So Embracer, never mind. I misread that. So this is about, so Embracer bought Crystal Dynamics. So they bought Tomb Raider DSX, Thief, Legacy of Kain. Do they own the Chocolate Mint? Maybe. They own Tripwire Interactive. Those are the people that made Man, they own so much shit. But yeah, like if we go with Dan's argument of giving them money is supporting what they did, then like if you give any of these things money, then Let's see. Damn, there's so much fucking things here. Like, I don't even know what, like, a huge chunk of this shit even is. I didn't know they owned Dark Horse Comics, though. That's interesting to note. But yeah, I mean, according to Dan, if you buy any of that stuff, then you support what Limited One Games did. Please not chocolate mint. But what if they make a new DSX? Are you gonna not buy it? What if they make a new version? What if they make a new comic? What if they make an anime? Lord of the Rings was acquired same time Limited One Games was, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Basically, you're condemning yourself to not purchase a whole but like... See, this is why, like, I feel like when it comes to putting your foot down and purchasing something like this, like... There's a difference between not agreeing with something and then wanting to religiously research everything they're associated with and not being part of it. Because that's like what this kind of thing gets into. Well, it's in new ownership. Squire Enix isn't in charge of it anymore. Who knows? Maybe it'll be great as hell. What are you gonna do if it turns out to be the best modern DSX game ever? I wouldn't say they suck. I think they just not labeled properly in most cases. Anyway, though, we got sidetracked, so let's continue on here, shall we? Oh! Camera guy joining. Oh, well, Dan... Oh, you guys like kids? Well, I mean, yeah, that's why I say, like, buy Joy and Void, and, like, Dan has every right to not want to support Limited One Games. That's fine. My problem is that he's claiming that me buying things from Limited One Games is defending their actions. For me to be defending, I have to be like, yes, I agree with that decision. That's why I say, like, you could say that I'm, like, that I'm not condoning, like, that I'm not, no, not the right word I'm thinking of, that I'm not, like, I'm not going to, like, the level Dan is in, like, disagreeing with it, but I don't support it. Hey, you never know. See, that's what I'm saying, like, you could argue supporting, or that I'm, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not, that I'm, condoning. You could say I'm supporting or condoning it, but you can't say I'm defending it. That's why I'm saying, like, that's a defamatory statement, because it's quite, like, I made it very verbal when all that happened to her, that I did not agree with that decision. I thought it was stupid. I don't buy everything Limited One Games puts out. I've skipped a few games recently. I have been doing more researchable things. If the game looks interesting and okay, I'll get it. If it doesn't look interesting enough, I have been skipping some. The problem, like I said, though, is that Limited One Games gets their hands on a lot, like the Rocket Knight thing. That's a really good score for them, to be honest. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'd love to see more of. Just without bugs. Like, the other thing I said with, like, the bug things, specifically about Limited One Games incidents, there haven't been a ton of them, but recently, it is looking kind of meh. And there's another one that might have cropped up about that plumbers don't wear ties thing. Apparently there's a glitch with one of the documentary things on there, which really is kind of astounding. How the fuck did that happen? How did you fuck up testing a video playing? Like, how did that happen? I'm waiting for more information on that and the gargoyle thing before making videos on those. But yeah, that crept up like a day or two ago with the plumbers don't wear ties edition thing they did, which, you know, that's all a whole fucking giant meme its own. I mean, we all know the only reason that's selling is because of James Wolfe ever doing a video on it. Like, if it wasn't for that would never be realistically a thing that's happening right now. That's literally the only reason that game has any fucking notoriety, is because of James Wolfe. But yeah, they put a bunch of documentary shit in there. Apparently even James Wolfe has a segment in it. Look at so many people here. They're all going to charge in, and we're going to make them understand we want them to do something. But yeah, honestly, if Limited One Games was in a really poor position of the kind of games they release, I would probably be more willing to just completely drop them. But I agree that it is really horrible what they did though. I really do. I really do. And it's fine to say, even if you don't agree with the fact that I still buy from them with that opinion. I don't have a problem with that either. Like I said, everyone has different lines and shit on the subject matter. And if you want to say that, like, you feel like I should, like, not buy anything from them with that opinion, that's an opinion you have every right to have. But the sad truth is, there's a lot of people who get fucked over job-wise. I mean, I've even had coworkers that got fucked over job-wise in that. It's not such a simple thing to just say, simply just drop everything sometimes in certain cases. Hey Leo, hey Jack, welcome. We're having a debate about what is deemed defending and not defending in that between Limited, because Dan doesn't like Limited One Games ever since they fired the original manager. And again, I don't like it either. I thought it was stupid and horrible. Morality. I guess that's a way to put it. Like, I don't agree with what they did. But like I said, she herself said that Josh and Doug tried to help her. So, your problem would be with the Embracer group, unless you want a conspiracy theory say that she was being blackmailed to say that. Which, if we go down that road, like I said, then you'd have to look at everything Embracer owns and be like, well, if I buy any of these things, that's supporting the people that fired her. So I can't buy Lord of the Rings anymore. I can't buy TH Nordic. Which actually, TK Nordic means you can't buy that GTA Alien game, right? Principles, that can be another thing. Principles, ethics. But yeah, like, don't get me wrong though. Like, Limited One Games is an event. Like I said in my newest video on Broken Games, they're literally becoming the EA of Limited One Games. They really are. Out of all the Limited One companies, Limited One Games is becoming the EA of that kind of shit. No. What is it called? You play like a stereotypical looking alien who's like Blue. Wasn't his name like Crypto or something? His name? I can't remember, but I can't remember the name. I have the Nintendo Wii and I think 2 of the PS2 games. But yeah, like we did the first and second game and more Destroy All Humans. Yes, that's it. That I believe that's a TH Nordic game, ain't it? So that means you can't buy that. That would be supporting Embracer. So you can't buy that. So hopefully, and you know that's a shame because that one didn't actually. From what I understand, they didn't censor any of that. I even heard in the sequel they doubled down on some of the shit. So you know that would have actually been way up Dan's alley, actually, because Dan's like me, really against a lot of the censorship of jokes and stuff. So you know, there's another issue there. Ooh, this is a good release that didn't censor for modern sensibilities, but oh no, it's owned by Embracer. It still has a lot of open world aspects though. I mean, from what I played of the Nintendo Wii one, it was like open world. You've earned some respect. Now, just don't get weird about maids. But yeah, it's... I know it's not like an easy thing either. I wouldn't compare it to the same thing as Bud Light, because for one thing, Bud Light was advertisement. This was somebody in management said something on Twitter, they didn't like it to the point that they thought they needed to fire them. It wasn't ad related. So, I mean, like, comparing the two isn't even, like, the same thing. Bud Light's decision was really weird, too. Like, I get, like, obviously something a corporation always needs to do is make sure you're bringing in newer generations. Because, you know, if you stick with the same thing, not bringing in new people while catering to your audience, you become a decaying system where basically as your fandom or audience die out and you don't got new people to replace them, you die out with them. So I understand the idea of wanting to bring in new people, but yeah, I do agree, like, the way they went about it was kind of weird. I mean, I don't think it's a good example at all, because, I mean, like I said, that was making a stupid ad that clearly wasn't done in a way, like, you have an audience. It's basically like Bud Light would be, like, comparing to, like, journalism in the game industry. Like with how Palworld's going. You got all these journalists like, Palworld is awful, and it's stupid, and you're retarded for liking it. And everyone else is just like, what kind of crack cocaine you smoking, buddy? The damn conflict. I don't think it's that bad. I think that might be too much of an extreme example to compare it to the damn conflict. I keep wanting to compare the whole protest thing to it, though. But we're not throwing rocks at people. That's not necessarily true. I mean, there's a lot of nice, youthful people who care about the physical ownership rights. I know, like, when you look at social media and you see a bunch of people saying stupid things like, bro, why do you even care? It'll be here forever and stuff. And then you see things like Crunchyroll eating Funimation and then everyone losing their digital rights to their anime they owned, you know. I get you see a lot of that on social media, but you'll be surprised there are people in the younger generation that do care, and some of them, like, with actions like Crunchyroll, we've been having a lot of these incidents where a lot of digital shit has been taken away from people, and it is making younger people wake up to what some of us have been saying. Well, they do a 1 month pre-order basically on like 99% of everything nowadays, Leo, so it's been a long time since they've done an actual just, we only have 1,000 copies, buy it now. Like, it's pretty rare for them to do that these days. Really, it's usually always a 1 month pre-order window now, so all you have to do that, and there you go. The only problem with the irony, though, is the only problem, and I talked about this in one of my videos, I can't remember which one. The irony with doing the pre-order thing, though, is, I think it was the PayPal video, if I remember correctly, I mentioned this. So, like, when they actually did limited prints all the time, like 1,000, 5,000, whatever, they only had them usually printed up. So, like, they would start the shipping pretty quickly. Now that they do the pre-order on the majority of stuff, it's vastly made the wait time crazy different. Because first thing, they need to do the pre-order, then see how many copies everyone orders, then they have to get to the number that Sony or Nintendo will let them print, because they'll be like, well, we're not going to print 4,162 copies. You need to round that up or round that down or something. And then, of course, they want extra copies to cover damaged, lost goods. So, you know, like, say, I don't know, say there's like 4,800 copies ordered. So they'll probably round up and just do 5,000. That way they'll have extra, and then they'll dump the extra through either their hidden boxes or through Video Games Plus or something. But yeah, the pre-order system caused a huge wait time increase. And that's like, if you look up criticism about Limited One games these days, that's probably going to be one of the most common things you come across. It's taken a year, it's taken 2 years to get me my games. It usually takes like me a year, because I bundle them all together to save on shipping, because the shipping and taxing is fucking became ridiculous in its own way. And I agree, like, I mentioned what I think they should do in that PayPal video. I think what they should do is guesstimate a starting amount. So let's say they're going to do a new Shantae game. That's going to probably be really hot. So let's order like 2,000 copies off the bat. And you can use those 2,000s to ship to people who buy singular copies instead of people like me who bundle it all together, bundle like 5 to 10 games in one order. Because mine is going to likely be delayed no matter what, because I ordered so many different games at one time. But if they do, like, they order like 1,000 or so ahead of time, and then they can satisfy the people that are like, why is it taking a year for me to get my 1 or 2 games? So you would definitely, like, lower that criticism vastly, because people like me are a little bit more understanding of the situation, that, like, hey, like, you know, about 70% of the orders ready, but still waiting on a game or two that, you know. Like, you know, it's more understandable that 10 games that all have to ship together are going to take a little longer to all get in order versus one game, know what I mean? And I get the reason they don't do that, because it's going to cost them more money. And they don't want to obviously forfeit that extra money for people's satisfaction. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on how they address that. Sure, you'll lose a little bit money, not because you're going to basically make every order 2 orders. The initial order to try and satisfy the low copy amount people. And then you'll do the second order to cover whatever remaining pre-orders get ordered. That's what I would do. But yeah, Limited One Games clearly has much more interest in trying to save as much money while trying to make as much fucking money as possible. It really comes off very greedy and selfish, and how they act like a 2-year-old anytime something's fucking broken is getting really old real fast now. It's a free loan. And that actually goes with another limited company. I think the Force Press Games, I think is what they were called. Let me make sure. There's two companies that have a very similar name. I think it's pretty sure, yeah, Force Press Games. That's the right one. So Force Press Games actually it's not 100% conformed. It's theorized that they want no business like that. Because you think limited one games is bad? Here, let me tell you how long my one pre-order is with Force Press Games. If you think limited one games is bad, log in. And they got games I do want. My oldest unfulfilled game let's see, that one was it. So my oldest unfulfilled game with Force Press Games is November 30th, 2019. There's a reason I stopped buying games from Force Press Games until they start getting things fulfilled or in hand. Because I have I have 4 orders. I stopped in 2021. That's when I was like, you still don't got my second. They did send my first order. My second order is that 2019. My first order was June 15, 2019. That was a triple pack of Switch games, which I do got. But the triple pack of PS4 games, they have not gotten out yet. And that is obviously even more ridiculous. Now, this company, there's a lot of speculation that they basically do a larger scam version of what Pad said. Like, that they're waiting for so much money to come in to start printing shit. Now, they have released shit. Like, my January 19th, 2021, which, that should be the 2 shmups. Yeah, the 2 big shmups that were Sega Saturn games. Like, they do have games coming out. But obviously, I have 1 order from 2019, 2 orders from 2020, and 1 order from 2021 that are all unfulfilled. And at that point, I was like, I'm not buying anymore. Like, 1 year, like, when you go past 1 year, you're reaching ridiculous. But 2019 is 2024. And who knows how much longer Sony is even going to let them print fucking PS4 games. We don't know when they might just suddenly pull the plug. And you know, the thing is, you can still buy that triple pack. You can still buy that fucking triple pack from them, too. But yeah, they have had games come out, but it is absolutely ridiculous. At that point in time, you either need to seriously look at what the fuck you're doing with your business, or fucking refund some shit. Because obviously, that's taking way too long. COVID did affect some of their problems, because they're the one that makes those really fancy slipcovers. And don't get me wrong, those slipcovers are all really fucking nice. But basically, once it's like, here's the 2 important things when it comes to me. You put a product out, and preferably don't take longer than a fucking year. But as long as you're getting product out there, I have some faith in you. And see, that's the problem with this company. They initially did get stuff out. The first triple set, which was the Switch games, they released all timely and everything. But as they added more shit to pre-order, less stuff was getting out the door. Now, again, they have They have sent things out. But I don't know if it's they're prioritizing certain things or whatever. But yeah, if they shut down PS4 production, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm gonna want this money like invested into a different game then. I heard you can get refunds from them, but it's very, very, very slow. But yeah, yeah, you gotta act like Molito. Straight up, boy. Straight up. But be strong. But yeah, like, that's a joke. 2019. 2019. At this point, and the fact is, the other thing that make me has very little faith in them. Like, basically, first-person games, unless they don't have that physically in hand, I'm not buying anything. They have every product they've ever released still in stock. So, I have no fear of anything being sold out from them. If they have it in hand, then I will probably buy it. If it's not in hand, I'm not pre-ordering. I have enough pre-orders with them that are showing unfaithful care. And you see, the other thing that's a problem is they have stopped fucking communicating with, like, go to the Twitter account. You can't reply to a single tweet from them. You have to quote tweet them or at them, but you cannot respond to any of their tweets. Now the claim on why they did this could be a fair argument. They quote-unquote claimed it was to focus on doing their job instead of arguing with some people who might not be so reasonable. To a fair point, I can understand that some, because some people can be in a very waste, but still, you're also cutting off communication with legit people who want to legit have a conversation about what's going on in that, which I feel is still overall harmful. But yeah, basically, unless they get the product in hand, I don't care about them anymore. And, like, if they close PS4, I'm just gonna tell them I want that money to something else then. I mean, the sad thing, and like, they got a real high-profile JRPG indie game that, like, they literally announced it. And everyone's like, oh, no, you did it through Force Plus Games, no. And you could scroll through the announcement the indie company did with it, and everyone's just like, oh no, why didn't you do it with, like, Strictly, or even Limited One Games, like, literally anyone else? Because basically, like, First Plus Games and, what was that company called? There was that other one that actually has the games, but they're not packaged in cases or anything. They're just in those blue trays that Nintendo sends you. And he supposedly has no staff in that now. What was that company called again? I forgot. But that and First Plus Games are basically considered currently the worst limited games companies right now. Now, of course, there were worse ones. There was I don't think anyone beats Wano Games, because, like, they just took money and ran. They never released a single thing. They scammed everyone. But yeah, it's because of shit like that, people are really skeptical towards any new companies that do limited stuff without stuff in hand. What are you adding Danarchy for? Now, Strictly Limited Games also has a few titles that have been in Pandora's hellscape for a while too. But I'll give Strictly a lot of credit that they communicate. I think Strictly Limited Games does some of the best communication with their customers. Like, they're the only company that completely addressed a broken game they released by accident and fixed it without having everyone have to, like, everyone make a bit. Basically, what the characters are doing right now in Higurashi. Like, this is what it feels like we have to do every time this shit happens. Strictly Limited was the only time nobody had to do that. They just fixed it, sent it to you. You didn't have to ship the old one to you. You didn't have to break it. You didn't have to do anything. They just sent it to you. No one asked to talk. I meant like Dan, Pad added you. Said at Danarchy. It's right there. Third day, let's go! Marching! See, what would Leo do if Limited One Game somehow worked with the people who own Higurashi and translated the PS4 version of Higurashi? Huh? What is he gonna do? That's a huge translation. There's a lot of new stuff in it. Quite interesting. You know, to be honest, way back in the day, like a long time ago, like I mean way back, like I thought about that kind of idea before. But that was like, I don't know, that was like PS3 era. Nowadays, that's a pretty hard space to do now. Premium Edition, I think, was the last big play of into the games feel. And I mean, Premium Edition's pretty nice, but they have some expensive shipping that just goes all over the place. I would have too much morality in wanting to care about doing things right. I think, like, something they could also do is learn from Square Enix's obsession to announce shit, like, 10 years before the game comes out. Stop doing that! Like, until it's ready, shut up! I'll give you 5,000 startup money for 99% ownership. Sounds like a fair deal, right? Honestly, I have thought about it before, but like I wouldn't know how to get. Oh man, could you imagine getting the rights to Lil Samson to do a version of that? The more likely person to have that possibility would be Strictly, though. Strictly has done worked with Taito. That's not you're likely not gonna succeed very well that way. I mean, so there's a lot of people like me who just like, yeah, if you don't have it in hand, like you don't physically show us that you actually have it, like, well, we're just no. Unless it's like super cheap, like if it's like $20 maybe, but yeah, like 60 plus, yeah, I'm not trying. We're just all gonna charge in. All units prepare. Well, that's not how that works, Dan. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them did it that way. But I don't feel like that's a great way of doing that, though. I'm not sure if that's necessarily how Limited Ones did. I mean, Limited One, you gotta keep in mind, Josh and Doug were game developers that made, what did they make? Three or two games? And basically, the company's first releases were their games. And then, like, the concept went really well, and they just kept, you know, going to other indie devs, like, hey, you want a physical release? And now look where they are now. Oh, man, those dark times. Dark times there, boy. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Limited One Games started preserving their own games, or how another person put it, to preserve their company. Because, I mean, basically, really, when it comes down to it, their games weren't successful. Hell, their one game wasn't actually finished. The, what was it? Sunday RPG, I think it was called? I think that's what it was called. Sunday RPG? Sunday... keyboard. I think it was called Sunday RPG, wasn't it? Or was it Saturday RPG? Maybe it was Saturday. Saturday Morning RPG, that's what it was called. Like, I played through Saturday Night RPG, if anyone remembers. That was like, I think that was the first Vita game I did a live stream of, actually. It was an interestingly okay-ish little game, but it has no ending. It has no actual fucking ending. It just cliffhangs. They never actually fit. And you know something shitty they did? They advertised when they did the Switch version. They said if it sold well, they would actually finish the game, and as far as I know, they never did. So whoop whoop. Story wasn't really that great in the game anyway. It was more like a ha-ha comedy than like a take serious kind of thing. Whale prototype. Whale prototype version. Come buy it. I mean, overall, like, it was okay little, like, if you get for a low price, but yeah, I mean, it was mostly about the comedy, not so much the game. Whoa, well, hopefully this goes well. I really hope we're not overdoing this, because I have a because, you know, the officer put that seed of doubt in there because of that. Oh man. Oh, you know, I just remembered I didn't click my freebie points here. Ay ay ay. But yeah, like, basically as we exited out of the COVID period, like, there was a pretty big shakeup of a lot of people trying to hold limited companies to a higher standard than that with shit. Buy a game and maybe we'll finish it. They're not all mediocre, but I mean, yeah, there are some mediocre games. Like, I mean, that's how Wet Art Games basically started. Other than the Bard's Tale, which was their first game, for a long time, the best stuff Wet Arts Games did were interesting idea indie games. And at worst, incredibly throwaway clone to blah, like, that one dungeon game, I think it was their second game they released on the Vita and PS4. And it was, like, I'd have to look it up. Wet Art Games. Like, I tried it, and it was just... It was like a Zelda-esque thing, I think. Or maybe that was a different game, I think. See, it was Bit Dungeon. Bit Dungeon Plus. And I remember trying it. It was just fucking... Yeah, it was like a weird Zelda-ish rogue thing, and it was just... It was fucking awful. Ugh. I'd say, like, looking back at, like, Wet Art games, like, I'd say... The first really interesting game... Let's see, looking at them in order. Like I said, there's a interesting game here and there. Ooh, that Creepy Road game was fucking awful too. Yeah, that was an okay game, but then again, not like super noteworthy. Let's see, I'd say the first really interestingly good game. See, this is how many pages I'm going through that be like, See, that one was a little interesting, but again, not anything too crazy. I would probably say that one if I had tried it out yet. When I looked it up, like review-wise, it looked really interesting. Of course, I'm also looking just at PS4 stuff here. Let's see. First, really good highlight. Yeah, see, I think I need to see the Switch stuff too, because there were a few things that were Switch only. I can't quite... And on the Switch, they actually did some Unlimited 1 games titles too. I'd say probably... Kind of really, you know, really, like, it's kind of actually really hard to even... I think these ones aren't in order properly, actually. Should be some more of it. Either way, though, Wet Arts right now has been going crazy. They got the Suikoden game. They got that, it's a sequel to a classic Famicom game. Ooh, that Japanese cover thing for the PS5 looks really nice. They got several Metroidvanias they grabbed up too. A few bullet hell games, like Castle of Shinkingame. Pronunciations. They also did Bonk the Investigator, which is supposed to be a really good point-click game that came out recently. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting all off the road here. Let's get back to the game here. We kind of off-road here quite a bit. With the weight of 60 people. I thought we were going for 70, wasn't we? But yeah, I mean, Wet Art Games started with, like I said, at best, some games that had interesting ideas, but depending on, you know, you as a player, you might think they're still shit, or just be like, oh, that's got a unique idea, I don't mind that, 19 bucks for that. But yeah, there definitely were a few that were, like, there was that shmup ice cream game where you shoot vegetables. That's also fucking awful. That was like the third or fourth title. Hey, I like goals, but it's justice time! Sounding intimidated already. Same as yesterday. Talk to Grandma. You gotta have heart. Have faith. But yeah, you could say I started the Broken series as a reaction to basically a lot of the companies like Limited One, Special Reserve Games, and that acting really childish for what people want. Vandalism? No, I don't think vandalism will work, Leo. I mean, I basically made the series to help bring awareness to these kind of things. Is basically the point of the Broken series. Because I do think it's important to hold them accountable to these things. And Limited One Games right now is getting grilled pretty hard on several of this shit. Like, they had the Neo City Raiders thing happen, Raiders. Neo City Raiders. Then the Gargoyles remaster. And now we got something that's broken in the promos don't wear ties. So I mean that's a lot of consecutive strikes. What about a folding chair? Atticusmj is mad. Well, honestly, like after the whole thing they did with Doom, Limited One Games was such a fucking crybaby about Doom. And they had no right to act like that towards anyone. Literally everyone brought it to their attention, the problem that was in the version, because it was in the digital release. They said it would be fixed, and it wasn't. So they failed, even though they were told by hundreds of people about the problem. They didn't even check to make sure that wasn't a problem. And then they throw a giant hissy fit, saying like, oh, just download the patch, you crybabies. And then they're like, oh, well, we'll do it, but you have to pay the shipping. And then, if you go to my video about it, I would recall being outraged at the concept of having to pay them more money to fix their fuck up. Look, like, I'm part of a team of people who literally, in their free time, do fucking research and tests on the completion and problems of physical releases. They could literally pick any of the high-profile people on the team that go through the games really fast with a lot of free time to literally do a check for them for nothing but a copy of the game. Like, it just feels like there's no real excuse for why they can't test their shit. They're a giant corporation. They can afford to pay someone $100 to go through the fucking game. Oh, you mean when I tried to do like the Kanji-kun is mad? That was like a random idea, but I didn't think it worked very well. More force. More force. I think I already did like 2 or 3 of those, didn't I? Yeah, we have to cut you off. Only 6. Ooh, the head of the office. Yeah, if you refused to offer it, could be risque. I'd say still stick on to trying to be the gentleman for now. No, why do you people always bring up fucking Harvey Boardman, attorney at law? Harvey Boardman, attorney at law. That was such a weird... Like, who in the right mind would have ever thought Capcom would have fucking parodied their own fucking franchise with an adult cartoon? Man, that was so weird. It's a real shame I didn't have the Wii version of that. I played the PSP version, if I remember correctly. Oh, man. I imagine the Nintendo Wii version's better. Yeah, do you know that game, Leo? Or that series? So, like, a long time ago on Adult Swim, when, like, Cartoon Network was using because they owned all the Hanna-Barbera stuff, so they started making, like, adult comedy joke shit with a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff. And one of them was Harvey Boardman, attorney at law, where Boardman became an attorney, and like he had to defend all kinds of weird cases with Hanna-Barbera characters. Yeah, the game is a Phoenix Wright spoof that Capcom themselves made. Capcom, well, I don't know if they necessarily made it. They published it. Let's look at that right now, actually. Let's look at that now. Let's see. Developers were High Voltage Software. What did High Voltage Software make? Let's see. The newest game they ever made was Zombieland Double Tap. Oh wow, they will. The developer for Fortnite Save the World. They made Mutant Year Zero. They did Mortal Kombat X. Saints Row Get Out of Hell. Saints Row 4 Re-Elected. The Amazing Spider-Man for the 3DS. Injustice Gods Among Men. Wow, this is really bizarre. I wasn't expecting this kind of rabbit hole. Whole bunch of Connect dancing games. Need those 2 first-person shooters on the Wii. Dang, they have a lot of different shit under their board. Okay, so not made by Capcom, made by a company that's done a lot of different work, but it was still published, and I would imagine as a publisher they still did a lot of oversight for the fucking game, I imagine. That's really, would you expect someone who made Saints Row Re-Elected, Saints Row 4, was the same company of people who made fucking Ace Attorney? Not Ace, I mean, Harvey Boardman, you know what I mean. I demand a Wii Stream watch party? Wait, what? What, you want to Wii watch me playing Harvey Boardman, attorney at law? My lord. Like, I don't even remember what my like. That was like my only attempt of trying to live stream again. Whoa! Was that in stream? Whoa! What the? Did anyone else hear that? Did anyone else hear that? Is everything okay with the stream? Is everything still working? Text is still going? That was really fucking weird. That's okay. Okay, good. That was very weird. Like, all the audio, you know, like when audio freezes for a second, you hear like a kind of a scrapey, staticky, skippy kind of sound. Like, I heard that for like 4 seconds when I was typing in YouTube to look at what that what the layout even looked like for Harvey Boardman. I guess it was a output through my headset then. So that's good that wasn't in the stream then. Harvey Boardman, Tony at Law. That was back in 2015. It was indeed the PSP version. 2015. That's fucking old as dirt. Look at that horrible ass fucking layout. It's because I was playing the PSP version plus trying to put chat in there. I don't even know what the audio quality was like for that. I think I was using that fucking thing from Radio Shack back then. I mean, honestly, at that point, I probably just bail off replaying it, to be honest. Man, 2015. Fucking long time ago, man. That was like one of the really only things I like. There were 2 times I tried live streaming. Then let's see. Basically, I think that was doing because I went back to doing. Well, no, like I guess it depends on whether you're referring to Twitch or not. Because I mean, like I live streamed on YouTube. That's twice he's gonna replay it. Wait. Oh wait, you replay? Wait. Let me read it. Wait. I thought you were like asking to watch it. Wait, what? Yeah, we stream watch party. So you were requesting to watch the Let's Play. Stream reacting to watching the Let's Play of it. You didn't say we play. You said we stream watch party. That's not we playing. Hey, Kalemba, Dan's trick. Here, let me hand you a dictionary, Dan, so you can know what you're saying again. No, I said I might as well replay it instead of just watch, because I'd have to listen to what the audio sounded like, but I think like that was on really horrible shit. Yeah, I'd saying I might as well, like, no, he said, that's twice, he's going to replay it. But your first request was to restream watch, not replay, so I'm not replaying it twice. I'm not gonna replay it 2 times. You'd be lucky if I replayed it 1 time. Also, why would you want to watch me replay it twice? Well, I mean, technically I do still owe you that, to be fair. You sure you want to do that? You sure you really want to do that? You sure you really, truly, honestly want to do that? He's like, maybe after Shadow Man wins. What we could do is, to not interrupt the normal viewing poll system, I could do it like, I don't know, maybe for like a Monday or some random thing or something. If you honestly want to do it in some way like that. Yeah, I agree with this logic. I mean, we should heal them out. Like, basically, if this turn's bad, then we might want to start going in the snobby direction. But right now, I think we should still stay on the peaceful side of things here. Yes, again. We want them to know we're here to inform them of our concerns. We're not here to riot, cause trouble, or anything. See, this is the power of friendship. But, I mean, we could maybe do a watch party. I mean, some people enjoy, like, looking back and, like, man, my mic sounds so fucking awful, or the recording program. Yeah, exactly, Leo. That could be fun for Leo, too, actually. He's like, see, this is what I used to do in 2015 with a bunch of junk from Radio Shack and that. Ah, fuck. What was I even using for a mic back then? Lord. The Dark Ages of fucking just using random shit around your house. Yeah, who's the 3 going in? I mean, that's obvious, so it's really just choosing the 2, to be honest, yeah. Yeah, she has a cool head, so that could help. Can of soup? Can of soup? I mean, it's a fair case. I mean, she's who she was living with and stuff, so... Oh. Gotcha. Well, I do know in the super dark age, I used to sit my headset down on, like, the desk and, like, talk through the mic on one headset. And the reason I did that was because of when I did co-op stuff. That way it would pick up 2 people, Dark Ages, sitting around a headset for co-op play, mic picking up. We're going in. Roger, Wilco. Then that one guy's gonna be like, I missed maids just to wait out here. Damn it! Oh, we swapped back to the priest. I mean, it's true. I think it's a fair thing. Snowball. I'll throw it at you! Give it a try. Have faith. We have to try. We have to try. Oh, you mean, the... See, when you said snowball, I thought about a little snowball, not the snowball mic. Yeah, so Dan tried out trying to do some videos, and I don't remember, did you try live streaming too, or just videos? But Dan kind of lost heart because he wasn't really getting an audience. And I mean, I told him both before and after, the sad thing in today's age of content creating is, you're like whamming straight into a brick wall if you're brand new. Like, you weren't a part of the game, it's really hard to get your feet going. Hell, it's hard to fucking stay in the air. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. It's just, it takes time. I mean, look at me. Like, I'm just finally over 900 subscribers on my main channel. I started actually growing again. I was stuck in fucking 870 limbo for so fucking long. And then I started growing slowly again. I might actually get to 1K by the end of this year if my growth continues the way it's going. But yeah, it's fucking hard to grow any audience, period, because of how the algorithm bot shit is now. And yeah, really, if you want to grow fast, it's like I said, you either throw all your morality out the window and chill the fuck into the things you know that will bring people, or you have to bust your ass really hard. That's basically your only real choices for fast growth. And it sucks. Because neither one's fun, obviously. But only one of them's more morally better than the other one. Yeah, that was kind of my problem a lot of times, like, when it comes to, like, having casual gaming outside of streaming. It's like, oh, I want to stream, oh, I really want to play this, but I want to stream it. You could. I mean, there's audiences for that, but I can't guarantee fast growth, though. There are audiences for that kind of thing now. Yeah, where the hell has she been all this time? Giving up isn't either. No, it's not better to be quiet. That's what's causing harm. Why doesn't she understand? It's harmful. Okay. Yeah, but there are always tons of... See, that's the bad thing, too. Those establishment for just about everything under the sun. It's hard to be original in anything. No, see, I would categorize those as shilling and selling out your morality, especially with Boogie. Darkside Phil is just... I think Darkside Phil is just stubborn as fuck. I don't think he's smart enough to really know to take advantage of anything about his reputation. I think he's just that fucking of a hardhead. No, don't give up. Have faith. But you won't know if you don't try. Why don't you understand you have to try? Oh, deal. Actually, what's even been going on with Darkside Phil? It's been quite a while since I've heard any new stupid stuff about him. I guess he's been staying low in his stupidity lately these days. Honestly, I don't know how does he keep going? It just, honestly, I thought the whole bankruptcy thing was going to be the end of Darkside Phil. I really thought he was going to be done then. I really like, if I ever need to do a bankruptcy, I need to be like, hey, Phil, who was your bankruptcy people? I need to ask for those services. Because, they either, completely misunderstood so much of the stuff or didn't investigate, or I don't know. It's just amazing how you could take a look at the documentation he did, and he clearly lied on several things. Now, whether they were a huge big deal? Subjective. There was something about, pets. He had Jasper, and he didn't mark the stuff right for Jasper. But if you keep trying, it could be a miracle. I don't know, does Leo, do you even know who Darkside Phil is? I imagine you know who Boogie is. Boogie's kind of hard not to know if you've been a long time YouTuber. I mean, he's had his ups and downs. He had his big heyday when he used to be big, and, that's not the case so much anymore for him, but... Oh, you lucky soul. What I wouldn't give to never known who the fuck Darkside Phil was and to leave it as that for the rest of my life. It is ironic how I learned the Darkside Phil. I learned the Darkside Phil because of Dark Souls. Because what he did in Dark Souls 1 is, he got the Draken sword thing from the Red Dragon, which is a really overpowered weapon for the beginning. And he never changed. And he got to the middle of Blight Town, and all his shit was broken. He didn't buy repair powders or anything. So he was still stuck in the middle of Blight Town with a sword that wasn't useful anymore. Because by Blight Town, that sword is really good at that point. It's probably barely still usable, because dragon weapons don't scale. See, dragon weapons in Dark Souls 1 don't have a scaling system. You could invest infinite points into all your stats, it will not affect the dragon weapon. Dragon weapons have a set power, and it's that. So, like, if you get it in the early game, that set power is really good for the early game. But once you start getting the Blight Town and beyond, that power is diminishing quickly. Very quickly. If you want a crazy... Oh, man. Maybe one day I'll tell Leo, like, let's hang out in VR chat, and I'll throw in, like, down the rabbit hole with Darkside Phil or something. I mean, that down the rabbit holes video on Darkside Phil is a bit outdated now, because there's been a lot more newer, crazier shit, but it could still be used as an introductory to all of his insanity. But yeah, like, it's amazing somehow he successfully declared bankruptcy. I don't know how the hell that happened. I probably would just blame Obama or Biden for it. Probably something about them probably allowed it. Probably their fault. I agree. The fact that she's not helping, I feel, is going to make this all fall apart. That, I think, is a good recommendation now. I agree with that. I think if she would also go along with us, this would work out better. But the fact that she ain't doing anything is making it harder. You gotta get her to open up. Exactly. She's not here. She's not helping. You need her to help. And that might be what the goal in Chapter 8 might be. See, she's realizing. She gets it. She gets it. But yeah, if you ever want to, like, watch, like, one of those videos on Darkside Phil, get, like, idea that, like, the dude, like, it is insane how this dude makes a living. He makes a living for years now. Like, how long has it been? Like, over 2 decades now? Of making a living off of YouTube and Twitch and shit. And so many horrible things he's done, and yet he continues to somehow make a living to pay for all of his shit. It is beyond inhuman on how in the hell that continues, in my opinion. You know, that's true too. I honestly think that's the only people keeping him going at this point. I really think the detractors are the only reason he's still going. The people who enjoy watching the train wreck. I honestly believe at this point that is the people keeping him going. And honestly, like, I really wish they would just fucking let him fall. Because it's just really, it makes everyone else's life feel so sad that somebody like that gets to coastal through problems like that. Yes, act the role. Put your passion into it. It's not a mistake. Well, I don't know about that, but it might be a really long time, though. We have to try. I hope it's different. I really, really hope we can have something good come out of this. And that might very well happen, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try now. Exactly, don't give up. Even if it doesn't work, don't give up. Kind of a reference to the title, wouldn't you say? Well, I mean, I can't imagine it being fun being invisible to everyone. Do you though? Yeah, see, it's really dependent on that, to be fair. Well, then maybe at the minimum she can maybe save everyone else at least. What's fall even like anymore? And we can do it by just watching. It's like, no. I don't know why she's insisting on just watching, to be honest. Excuse me. well in a unique position to get to try. Yeah, I was going to say Hole not wanting to help could be partially part of the problem too. You kind of will like causing your own pain doing that. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't want her to fucking end the time loop. I mean, does that seem kind of silly? Like, sometimes the way she reacts to, like, how could you have hope in trying to do this? Oh. Oh, we don't even get to hear the debate? Oh no, that's still not soon enough. I mean, that's what I think would have been a smart thing to do a long time ago. Yeah, they're not doing a very good job, sadly. Well, time to burn the building down. Anyone got a ladle? No, don't really do that, obviously, but we can only hope they act on it, I hope. But if they said they're gonna wait until a month, then... Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to get people to come every single day. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. We're gonna break in now and protest. You're gonna save her now, or we'll scream out loud, and we're gonna shout it out all night now. Ooh, they made banners. Yeah, it's really the only person it feels like that's going to be able to do anything at this point. We have to all unite. Friendship is magical. Man, this chapter just goes on. We're in the middle of a chapter. Oh my god, is it ever going to end? So we continue doing that and try to proceed, and hopefully the two can work together. Hmm. Meeting. I feel like we really need to bring this up in the meeting. If I missed a meaning. I feel like as we're getting further, we're seeing worse and worse errors in this. Wouldn't want to be late for that meaning. Mean. You would think they would have fixed this stuff by now, though. That's only one of the negative things about DRM free versions of stuff. They definitely usually don't get updated as much as the, non-DRM free places. And it's shitty when it happens, but what can you do? Cold dinner. This is making me hopeful. Maybe we'll bring it up during this. Honestly, you know what?